So Adam took it. Now, let me go back up to the scroll. The Secrets of Enoch. Chapter 2, The Secrets of Enoch, chapter 30, verse 15. For I have seen Adam's nature, his weakness, but he has not seen his own nature, weakness. Therefore, through not seeing, he will sin worse. And I said, after sin, what is there but death? What is sin? Sin is transgression of any commandment given to you by Yah. Sin is the transgression of any commandment given to any person on this planet by Yah. That's sin. Okay? That's sin. Alright? So, and the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. So they really were naked. Right? There were no clothes. Okay? And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Now, they did that because they were undressed, because they were able to visualize now that they were looking at sexuality in a complete different way now. That's the reason why later on in the scripture, Yah had to slaughter an animal for them, for their sins, and made them coats of skin so they can wear. So they were naked. Okay? But let's move on. Alright? Genesis 3 and 17. I'm going to skip to Genesis 3 and 17 because we all know this is a very popular story. No matter your religion, no matter who you are, you know the story of Adam and Eve, right? So, is this timing out again? So we do know that then Christ came and he commissioned. He commissioned who? He commissioned everybody. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something, right? And I'm not going to prove this right now. I'll prove it later. When Christ came, he commissioned everybody. He commissioned, who did he commission first? Was it the snake? The snake wasn't Satan, by the way. Now, the snake was Satan, but it wasn't Satan. Satan spoke through a snake. It's not the little snakes that you see today. It was a much larger snake, and it had legs. Okay? More so called a dragon. That's where they got dragons from. Okay? But that's a different story. So it was much larger. It wasn't like some little snake that was hissing and speaking into her ear. It was a large dragon. And Satan spoke through the dragon. So let me tell you how Satan is, right? Satan cracks me up, man. Satan funny ball, man. So he commissions Satan, then he commissions Eve, I believe, and then he commissions Adam, right? Or was it Eve second, then Adam, whatever. But Christ comes and gives them all punishment, right? The snake go on your belly, you go, and you something the dust of the ground. Eve, you will have to now women get will bear, what did it say? You will bear pregnancy, okay, and you will be subject to your husbands from now on. And then Adam, the man, now we got to work hard. We got to go out there and we got to work hard in order to make ends meet now, right? Especially if you're a black man, you know it's hard to find a job. It's hard out here. It's hard, right? But basically, what's going on here is that all three of them got commissioned, right? And so what he said to Adam, he said, because you have listened to the voice of your wife, because you have listened to the voice of your wife. What is Adam's nature? What is his weakness? Because you have listened to the voice of your wife. Because you have listened to the voice of your wife. Because you have listened unto the voice of your wife. And have eaten of the tree which I commanded you. And have eaten of the tree which I commanded you. you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you, and pain you shall eat, and in pain you shall eat, and in pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life. So men have to work hard, period. All men, because of Adam. Right? Well, I'm not going to say so much to other nations, because some of them, but, their children, a lot of their children are being born with silver spoons in their mouth. But in any event, the man, whether you white man, black man, Arab man, Chinese man, and we can't deny that the Chinese man is not a hard worker. Let's not go there, right? Men in general have to go out. We have to go out now and we have to bust our ass, right? Now, before I move on, I want to go to the proverb, okay? Before I move on, I want to go to the proverb, okay? Let's go to Proverbs 31. And I'm going to open it up, first 3 verses. Proverbs chapter 31. By the way, for all of my black women out there, I love y'all. I really do. And I know y'all catching a lot of heat now, right? But I'm not gonna throw the gavel at y'all necessarily per se. But y'all gotta get it together. Because us black men, we do need y'all. Now I don't care if some of you out there think you don't need a woman. Now when I say need, I don't mean need like, oh baby, I'm not talking about like that. See, first of all, I don't want there's no reason for me to leave my wife, first of all. I don't know. But in any event, I love my wife. And if I leave my wife, right, it's hard to find a woman out there that's, very loving and caring and a great mother and will get down and dirty with you when you need it, right? You can give her a break, and then after her break, she can come back and she can dig the mud up with you. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I have an issue with the flesh of women. So if I leave my wife, I really put myself in a position to be a great fornicator. So I don't want to do that. But that's not the reason. I mean, I won't leave her because I love her, and there's no reason for me to leave her. But I'm just saying, right? So, now, however, we're going to go to Proverbs 31, and we're going to open it up. And it says, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son, and what, the son of my womb, and what, the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women. Listen, nor thy ways to that which destroy kings. Damn. Did y'all hear that? Did you hear that? Nor your ways. So to give your strength into a woman, women have brought down kings. Look at Solomon. First of all, y'all can talk about me all you want to. Solomon had 1,000 wives. That's a sickness, an illness. There's no way in the world one man needs 1,000 pieces of pussy. Just no way. I don't understand it. Then later he started marrying foreign wives of other nations that worshipped other gods. And this is the reason Solomon was brought to destruction. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know what the fate of Solomon right now, because when I read the Gospel of Nicodemus, I know when Christ went into the ground, went into the earth, the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. I can remember some of the names that he brought back with him. He brought Adam back with him. He brought David with him. He brought Isaiah with him. He brought all the prophets of old, because remember, Christ was the first fruits, meaning he was the first man to ever return from death. Why? He was the first man to do it, and if he hadn't have done it, none of us would ever had, no person, period, would ever be able to, no Israelite would ever get salvation, would ever get the kingdom. So that had to happen, because there's going to be a resurrection in the future, whether you all believe it or not. Some of you will be resurrected into eternal life, some of you into eternal damnation. Now, give not thy strength unto a woman. Why? Because it brings down kings. This is what brings down kings. Many of you brothers out there are strong brothers. Very strong brothers. Okay? Whether you're in the East Coast, Central, West Coast. There's strong black men all over the place. I don't even consider myself, I'm just being honest with you, I don't consider myself among the strongest men physically. My mental and what I'm willing to do, that may be different. But I know I'm not the strongest man out there, but one thing I tell you is this: I will never give my strength over to a woman. The slander is false. Okay? Now, next we have Ahab. First was Adam, then the proverb, and this last segment is Ahab. Now, I want you all to pay very close attention to this, right? Because a woman is an extremely powerful creature. Now, the average man, he likes pussy, right? So, you have to have an understanding that it can be powerful. Now, you are to pursue a woman, not chase a woman. Pursue her, not chase her, right? There's nothing wrong with pursuing a woman. King David pursued a woman, right? He didn't chase her, he pursued her. He went about it the wrong way, very wrong. But in any event, he pursued her, right? Now, we would not look at women in that manner had it not been for the weakness of our forefather Adam. We know, let me explain what I mean by that. See, there's a commandment. The commandment is man, woman, and to reproduce and have children. The commandment isn't lust. See, we now have lust, which means we're not commandment-based, because the lust overshadows the commandment. See, Adam didn't look at Eve in that manner. There was a commandment in place, which he knew that he was a man, and he knew that he knew that she was a woman, and she knew that she was a woman, and she knew he was a man. And they understood their purpose was to procreate. Okay? That's the commandment. But see, after Satan beguiled her, then they looked at each other in different manners. And Satan, from that 6,000 years ago until now, Satan has took sex and took it all types of places. He's took it now to homosexuality, bestiality. People don't want to be called him or her anymore. He's took it to drag queens. He's took it to transvestites, transsexuals. He's took it all over the place now. It's crazy. It's insane now, right? And it's going to get worse. Babies being born in incubators. All types of abominations being created and so forth. Now, so we understand that now, the limit, we understand that now where it has been taken, sex has been taken to a level of abomination now. Right? Now, let's go to the next segment, Ahab. Now I want y'all to pay very careful attention, because I want to show you that how weak Ahab was and how weak a lot of you men are. Some of you men out here, 6'7", 400 pounds and can go out here and beat the shit out of a man. But let me explain how weak you are in this regard. And Ahab, this is 1 Kings chapter 16:33. 1 Kings chapter 16 and 33. And it reads, and Ahab made a grove. This is the King James Version. I'm going to read a different version for those of you who are novice. And Ahab made a grove. And Ahab did more to provoke Yahuwah, God of Israel, to anger than all the kings of Israel that were before him. Now I'm going to read that again, but I'm going to read it from the Good News Translation because they did a good job. Why? Because the Good News Translation did a better job than the King James Version did. Now, like I said, the King James Version is the most accurate with the Strongs. But without the Strongs, and if you're somebody who does not understand things from a Hebraic perspective, and you do not you're novice, then there are some other Bibles that do a better job than the King James Bible. 1 Kings chapter 16:33. 1 Kings chapter 16:33. Good News Translation. And it says, he also, talking about Ahab, he also put up an image of the goddess Asherah. He did more to arouse the anger of Yahuwah, the God of Israel, than all the kings before him. Ahab was a warrior. Ahab was a warrior king. He was a king that went out on the battlefield with his warriors, with his soldiers, right? That's what Ahab was. Physically, Ahab was a mighty man. Ahab probably could have took me and slung me over a tree with one arm. But he made an idol of a goddess woman and worshipped it. He said he also put up an image of the goddess Asherah. He did more to make Yah angry than any king ever before him. And this is a man that can go on a battlefield and rip your body in half. He wasn't no Dawid, he wasn't a David, but Ahab was a warrior. Listen carefully. 1 Kings 21. 1 Kings 21, 25, and 26. 1 Kings 21, 25, and 26. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of Yahuwah, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. Ahab's wife stirred him up to all sorts of wickedness. And he did very abominably in following idols according to all things as did the Amorites, whom Yahuwah had cast out of Israel. So Ahab, I'm going to use this for light. Ahab basically worshipped his wife. And he was a king, a mighty king. Women can cause all types of foolishness amongst themselves and amongst men. I know you all heard this before. The black woman is God. Show me that in the scripture. all throughout the set apart manuscripts, Christ despised men. He despised. Christ despised. He had a deep hatred. Let me repeat that. All throughout the scriptures, Yahuwah Elohim had a deep hatred for men that gave power to women. Just want y'all to know that. All throughout the scriptures. Now, many of y'all, if you haven't watched the Chronicles of Riddick, you should go watch that movie. And I just used the Kevin Gates power video as an example. From what I know, Kevin Gates, he isn't even like that. It was entertainment, and I liked the video. I really did. I actually listened to it. It's got a catchy tune, and I listened to the video. I just said that the concept of the video disagreed with the scriptures. So I have enough people that hate me now, so I don't want anybody to think that I'm being derogatory toward them. But in any event, the truth must be told. Okay? And if you are a man out there, don't be like Ahab. I'm telling you that right now. Moreover, okay? Now, I'm not trying to say treat your wife like a child either, because we got people going around here trying to make like women are children. Your wife, your fiance, your girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, because at the end of the day, if you're having sex with her, you should take her seriously, because that's the original culture of our people. You should. I'm not saying I've been perfect in that myself. I certainly take my wife seriously. I married her. I love my wife, but I'm just saying, in the past, I've made those mistakes. But in any event, you should always gird up your loins in reference when it comes to your female counterpart. And she's grown. We have to remember this. No doubt about it. And if she makes her own money, or if she makes more money than you, then certainly she has some type of say. There's no way around that, right? Now, but don't give your strength into her. You're a woman out there and you're making money, or you're making more money than your man, or whatever the case may be. You know, don't use that to try to exert any authority over your man, because that authority doesn't belong to you. At the end of the day, he's still the king. Right? The other nations, they do this very well. Arab man don't play that. Arab man go in the house, you better not have any issues. You better not. Okay? Not the modern Chinaman. I don't know what the modern Chinaman is doing. I don't know what y'all raising nowadays. The modern Chinaman. We already know that the Caucasian man has a problem with this. Not all of y'all. Not every Caucasian man. Some Caucasian men, they know what's up. But a lot of you don't. I've never seen any couple more abundantly have their female walking on the outside of the pavement than the Caucasian. I haven't seen any other group of people do it as much. Sadly, I've been seeing a lot of black couples do that lately, but in any regard, we still don't got the Caucasian beat. And his wife walks on the outside of him with authority too. Sometimes she get mad. I remember I was waiting outside the food store. I was getting me some grub, and Caucasian couple walked by, and the woman was on the outside. And I say, man, I just had to say something. It was irking me. I said, man, you're on the wrong side, brother. And she looked back at me like, boy, you better shut the hell up. I run this shit. And then he looked back, and then he turned away real quick. I said, man, that don't make no sense. So, you know, I just wanted to throw this message out there. That's all, right? And shalom, all right?